Hey, welcome back. This is our testing single player game of Nagashizzar. Still haven't released the update to the mod because I've got a little bit more work to do on it, but I just thought I'd carry on with some testing and cover some of the changes that I've been making. So we'd already seen these battles, I think. Yep, we'd already seen these. So a couple of things I talked about in the previous video is I wanted to reduce the cost of carrion riders and put a recruitment limit on them. So they've got a recruitment limit of 5 per month now, and their cost has gone down from 50 gold to 40 gold, and their resources cost has gone up from 1 resource to 4. I just didn't like them at 1 resource. That seems really low, even for just a monster. I mean, we've got some other things that are at 1 resource, but I felt like there should be a little bit of cost associated with Caravan Riders in terms of resources. Long Dead Chariot, I put the magic resistance down, like I said I was going to, and I've reduced their hit points by 1 from 13 to 12, just to make them a little bit more fragile. Haven't really changed very much else. I put Wasteland Survival on a couple of things, and the mummies I reduced in cost from 60 gold to 50. They may need further reductions, I'm not sure, but we'll see how they get along with that. They do have that fire susceptibility that the liches also have. I don't think I made any other changes. I think this is all sort of how it was before. Well, there may have been one or two other little things I cleared up. So let's just do this turn. We've got our research going, we're getting some necromancers and things out there. Definitely want to start site searching, that's always a good thing to do fairly early. Cranking out 2 necromancers a turn, very happy with that. And maybe we should get some master necromancers or something going to do site searching with, because they've got these extra paths and they have air, which nothing else has. We could also get some council liches going. But maybe just, if we do a necromancer, we take this one off and do a master necromancer, but we'll then get him next turn, because 4 commander points can be spread, 1 here and then 3 in the next turn. Let's get some of these ethereal units. Let's try out a squad of tortured spirits and see how they do. So we'll get tortured spirits, we can get tons of those. Don't really cost any resources, not very many recruitment points, we've got plenty of those. Just gold is the limit on them, really. And then we've got tons of resources, so we can also just throw some resources into having some more of our lovely Nagashizzar legionnaires. And some skellies. There we go. That will do, and we will be taking those in against the Amazons and Jade Maidens, I think, along with this force here. Make sure it's a fairly strong force. I always overestimate Amazons, but I'd rather overestimate than underestimate. Gevelod and his flying squad. Gevelod's flying squad. Where are we going to go? Go down here and hit these horse tribe. My Prophet and this Revenant and this one, not very much left. Probably enough to take out these horse tribes, so let's do this. We'll send our Prophet in to help with this. And they're just going to charge in and kill those horse tribe. That is quite fine. I think they'll do okay. With the smite backing them up particularly. Let's just search this for 1 death, that's fine. And maybe next turn we'll have enough money that we'll just build a fort or something, get something going. It'd be good to get some more forts going, probably. Right, our flyers. We need somewhere weak. Militia and light infantry? Sounds doable, doesn't it? Can't get to it, though. Where can we reach? Militia and light infantry up there. Let's go and do that one. So you'll note that obviously the death scales, death moving towards 3, happens within our own dominion, not outside. So one thing you can do with this nation is not really spread your dominion around that much, but instead, try and have lands that are outside your dominion, because then you get the neutral growth scales. You don't get that rapid decrease in your gold from the provinces. I might put some more things in the nation that incentivize you having your dominion. One of the things I was thinking was that their temples could sometimes give you death gems because that's a very big theme with the nation, and it would incentivize building some temples, which would then make your dominion spread out. So I was thinking maybe something like that. Okay, let's just see how this goes. This is again not going to be a super long video, I think. It's more just testing out various different units and things. I'm not planning on making this a long series on playing single player. It's just kind of giving you a bit of a, it's letting me do some testing and it's letting you kind of get a bit of the flavor of the nation. Oh, magic site straight away, which is bog. That's actually kind of a nice one to get for one death. Get some water income. So over here, nice thing about Horse Tribe. Oh, well, they are shooting at me. But generally speaking, they're not going to come after me or anything. They're just going to sit there until I go and get them. And Black Knights are pretty ferocious in melee combat. They've got good protection. They're kind of just classic heavy cavalry, but of course they're mindless, so they're not going to rout or anything. And they've got the various other advantages that undead things have. One of the things that's bad about them is they have never heals, which I think magic never healing bills were getting. Yeah, so they're not magics. They just never heal unless you have something that is healing them in combat. I might put in some stuff to heal undead to kind of be thematic in the nation to add some stuff like that. Copper Woods. This is our flying squad. They're set up to attack rear. We've got a good target for attack rear here. Hopefully they will go and do it. Kill the archers and then go after the commanders. That's my hope. Yeah, archers and commanders. And that's all the commanders killed. Hopefully we don't lose any carrion on the way out. Not bad. Flying squad's pretty good. So Nagashizzar, we have an event. This is one of our luck independent heroes. So this is just a percentage chance of it happening every single turn. I think with Krell it's 3% chance every turn after turn 6. He can't turn up super early in the game. So it's cool that he's turned up. Krell is a white, which is, an animated kind of ancient warrior, ancient hero. He was actually a chaos champion who was killed by a famous dwarven warrior. And then he's been resurrected a few times. He's been brought back to life by various necromancers. First person to do it was Nagash, and so he's kind of always been tied to Nagash, and he'll always, even though he seems like he's just being controlled by whatever necromancer's in control of them, he's actually kind of always working towards bringing Nagash back and being Nagash's general. Because this is an event rather than just being the native way that the game does heroes, I can also give him some troops. So he comes with some Graveguard, which is nice, but he's pretty powerful and cool. Let's take a look at Krell. So here's Krell. I'm pretty happy with the graphic. It doesn't show up terribly well on this black background, but I'm pretty happy with it. Big undead Chaos Warrior man with a ridiculously huge axe. That's a very Warhammery thing. The Black Axe of Krell. Very nasty, causes bleeding, and it has 2 attacks, which is always good. But he doesn't have any hand slots. He doesn't have any armor slots because he's got famous Armor of the Barrows. He's got the famous Black Axe of Krell, but you can see he's incredibly resilient. He's also got Fear, he can go underwater, and he's got Dominion Immortality, but it does take 6 months for him to reform. So if he gets killed in his Dominion, he can reform. So a thing I could do with Krell is just immediately send him underwater, which I think I might do. I mean, this is a throne, but it's just Merrows, and I've got a very big army, so, why don't I do that? So Krell also came with 7 Graveguard, which is very cool. Let's... Oh, of course. I forgot the Nagashizzar Legionnaires are not mindless, whereas ordinary Graveguard are. So that they can't actually be mixed together. That's interesting. I'd forgotten that. So let's put our Graveguard there, and we'll put our some various long dead in with them. Chuck those together. We've got some bows, they're not going to be of any use, and then we've got some soulless, whatever. And then we've got a big squad of ghosty ghosts. So I think all of these guys can go underwater. Yep. So I will send Krell down there. Let's have a line of these. Let's put the zombies at the front. Let's have this line here. Oops. And then we'll have the ghosts. Going around the rear. I know these aren't particularly strong underwater, but the ghosts are pretty good underwater, I believe. Well, they're still poor amphibians. You wouldn't think that a spirit would have trouble going around underwater, but I guess that's just how Dominions works. And then Krell will just have him attack. I'm not too worried about Krell dying, so just do some attacking with him. Maybe we'll send a, it's always good to send a second commander in just in case of a disaster. So I'll send Angron and he can always site search. So down here, is this force strong enough to take any of these? Is the question. Bear tribe, deer tribe, wolf tribe. I mean, probably not. No. So I'm going to send my black servant home to go and claim this throne. I forget which throne it is. And this guy with his black knights, maybe just start making his way home and do some more site searching. That'll be fine. Perhaps we can see if we can save some, save a little bit of money this turn. Let's maybe get some of our more resource expensive stuff. Maybe we'll get some of our Morghast, because we've got the holy points. So just going to do that, and that leaves us with a bit of gold left over. Could we get a fort somewhere? Do we have a commander sitting around to do a fort? We've got Lyduk, could put a fort here. It doesn't really matter that much to me where I build a fort, to be quite honest. Oh, of course, our forts are more expensive, 750 gold. Can we get 750 gold together? It shouldn't be too hard. I mean, 752, there we go. Let's get another fort up. Start building a palisade. Yeah, so they've got increased fort cost, but they have a very good capital they start off with. So early on you've got that advantage, but it does make you a bit more cap dependent than you would usually be. Our flyers, who have been doing absolutely fantastically so well, am I going to just go for the rather risky option of going after Copper Canyons with them? Oh, I can't. I'd have to fly around. Okay, that's interesting. We do some Bear Tribe. I'm just going to risk it. It's testing. I want to see just how far we can push these guys. The Morghasts are expensive and powerful. The Carrion less so, but this is still a reasonable chunk of gold I'm throwing around here. How is our research going? We're doing enchantment. We've got a zombie mob. So zombie mob is like carrion reanimation. I might put in a note about that, but basically it's carrion reanimation, but slightly different. Skeleton Warriors is a straightforward 2 death gems. You get 12 random Skeleton Warriors, long dead basically. Zombie Mob, it cares about targeting places that have corpses. So should we cast some of those just to test them out? Why not? They death 2, both of those, or can they be done with death 1? Zombie Mob is death 1. So let's do Zombie Mob. Yeah, we've got the Death Dominion sense turned on for this nation, so we can see how many corpses there are for anything that's in my dominion, or I can see how many corpses there are where there's a Death Mage present. So what I'll do is have Vornak cast Zombie Mob over at Opalshin. You can see Zombie Mob's got pretty good range. You can usually get it in there, and you've also got units that haven't increased their range. Farcaster of Death, the Lich of the Council has, so he can cast. I think you gain an extra 1 province range. He can do it at 6 provinces, and you gain 25% to your range in combat with combat spells, which is pretty good. Should we also cast some Skeleton Warriors? See how many Death Gems we have. It's crazy. Let's just cast some Skeleton Warriors. In fact, let's monthly cast some Skeleton Warriors. It's the little spell. It's not terribly efficient, but just having more skeletons is always nice. If you're in an early war, you can just throw death gems at just making tons of skeletons and things, which can be quite useful. So Zombie Mob, where did we cast that? I've forgotten already. Oh, we cast it down here, didn't we, Obelshin? What did we get? Well, we got 19 Armored Soulless. Pretty good for that costing death gems. Pretty nice. You'll note that unlike Carrion Reanimation, you don't get a commander zombie leading them. I think you do with Carrion Reanimation, so you have to have a commander there. If you cast it on like an enemy province, then your zombies will just run away unless you've got somebody there. So something to bear in mind. It's just something where you can make zombies out of anywhere that's got a bunch of corpses. So let's watch our battles. Yellow Mountains, Flying Squad, pretty nasty group, but of course because we're on tack rear, I'm hoping I just pick off this bear trap. Oh, they've got another leader though. They've got the Barbarian Chieftain at the front, so maybe we'll lose some stuff here. We'll see. The Morghusts are very tough. The Carrion less so. Carrion are pretty good offensively. I think I said the other day they had 3 attacks, but I think they might actually have 4 attacks. Because... Oh no, Talons is just 1. Yes, they have 3 attacks, but 3 attacks is still pretty nice, even for something of that size. Here they come. They're only used 10 rounds. Yeah, our ability to beat stuff up in close combat is pretty great. So my guys are working fine. You can see that this Morghast Archai is getting tons of repels off because the glaive is length 4 because he is a size 4 unit with a length 3 weapon, so he has +1. So you can rely on them getting repels off. Maybe they would benefit from a Fire Blast that gives them extra attack skill. Would probably be quite good for them. Let's turbo speed it and see what happens. So I think a couple of our Carrion got killed, but the Morghusts are just amazing. They're just destroying stuff. Let's have a look. Yeah, 2 Carrion Riders killed. We got a ton of zombies in the battle as the Morghast killed things. Are they okay at 70 gold? You know, it's hard to balance units like this, particularly when they're sacreds and have tons of protection. But I think maybe they're going to need to be a bit more expensive because of their mobility and everything, and the fact they don't cost upkeep. That's my instinct. So what I tend to do when I'm balancing things like this is I go, oh, they seem a bit strong. I'll just add like 10 gold or knock 10 gold off if they're like not performing very well, and just kind of tweak things that way. But sometimes a more serious nerfing or buffing of a unit needs to happen. But yeah, in the first instance, I'll generally not go very severe. I'll just make kind of a tweak to it, and maybe I'll end up doing that several times. This is a lot of marrow, and we are not great because we're poor amphibians at fighting underwater, but I'm hoping that our tortured spirits will kind of carry the day. So our infantry is just getting torn to pieces. The tortured spirits are doing okay because of their ethereality. And then our better quality infantry should hold up okay over here. You can see Krell is chopping away. I've forgotten how I see Krell's log. There it is. So yeah, he's hitting some marrow, stabbing him up. Oof, 33 points of damage. He's unlikely to get killed. And our Tortured Spirits did great on the flank. They are quite expensive, of course. These are 30 gold each, so this is a significant investment of gold, but you can get a bunch of them really quickly if you've got the gold. Tortured Spirits, I think, are okay. Can rates are definitely better, but they cost twice as much gold. Some nature gems, always welcome. So this is the Throne of Zeal. Spread a Dominion, blessed troops get morale +1. The Dominion spreading is theoretically kind of bad for us actually, but I'm just going to take it. Should we go after some barbarians? I think we're probably up to dealing with some barbarians. Yeah, I mean, it seems fine. Let's put these guys back a bit, and because they're barbarians, we're going to get lots of repels with these spears, so maybe I will set things up like this instead, and let's let these zombies take some hits. They're just a distraction. So we just killed a bunch of people underwater. Can we cast Carrion Animation? Cast a zombie mob underwater? Looks like we can. Have we got enough troops here to deal with the Amazons? Well, probably not, no. We could risk it potentially. Let's have some more Archai and more Ghasts, and let's go back to recruiting Necromancers. In fact, we're kind of trying to save up some gold for infrastructure, so maybe we'll do Necromancer and Death Cultist. Oh, that takes a holy point. We do want somebody to be blessing these Morghasts and things. I kind of just want to do another Harbinger, I think. It's the simple way of doing it. Let's have a few Carrion, and then let's toughen up our ground forces with just a ton of zombies. It's a good money-saving operation. And then let's have... save some money, have half a Revenant with the remaining commander points. Jinud. You were returning home, weren't you? Yes, you were. Let's just send you home. In fact, we'll take the scenic route, we'll do searching as we go. So what does our Lord have? Our Master Necromancer, rather. 3 death, 1 water. Should we get you out there searching? Right away? Maybe not. Have we got anything else we can cast? Not really. I could do with just having a billion skeletons. I'm quite a fan of just having a billion skeletons. Let's just, for this turn, let's just have these guys cast Skeleton Warriors. Have you got any more provinces with lots of corpses in them? No, but there are a lot of corpses in the sea. Let's have 2 zombie mobs cast on that. Gevelod. This whole attack rear thing has been working absolutely fantastically with them, hasn't it? We could go and try that, militia and light infantry. Should we give it a go? Let's do it. Why not? Saving a bit of money so we can get something here. Get another lab up would be a good idea. Be kind of nice to do that. So let's just have an indie commander. Oh, so few resources here. Let's have a scout. So he'll do the fort building, and then the revenant will be freed up to do a lab instead. Not really doing the most the most efficient expansion or anything here, but that's fine. We're just testing stuff out. Battle in Dubros. Sounds like Dude Bros. Brah. Can you get these commanders? Maybe. Ooh, that carrion's dead. Out on the left. See how well these Morghast are doing. I mean, this one has now taken an affliction, but still, he was surrounded, and he was still doing okay. That is the benefit of having such high protection. I've noticed that the Morghast don't have pierce resistance. They should have pierce resistance, right? They're basically bones. Yeah, I think I'm going to give the... So that's going to make them stronger, so probably I'm going to put their price up, but I am going to give the Morghast pierce resistance, because I think it's very justified to give them pierce resistance. So before I forget, I'm going to pause this and do that now. So I've given them all pierce resistance, and I put their gold cost up by 10 in each case, which I think overall probably makes them worse, but I guess we'll see. I haven't reloaded the game, so the changes I just made have not actually taken effect yet. But we'll see. Maybe the PS res will push them even more over the top. But Morghast are supposed to be really good. They're like a really expensive, powerful, weird thing from Warhammer, so I don't mind them being really impressively strong. So here we might have Krell being faster than everyone else and getting ahead and getting hit by barbarians, but I believe Krell will probably be okay because of his super high protection and, okay defense skill. He's actually not a very skillful warrior because he's undead and they just don't tend to be that skillful. He's not a lich or anything, but our tortured spirits will do great against these low protection barbarians. Yeah, and our main group of, legionnaires, Nagashizzar will hold up absolutely fine, so we're doing great. Krell, did you manage to get a kill? Come on, buddy. He did. I always want to see heroes getting kills. That's actually one of the things I really like about the Warhammer mod is the getting to make all these heroes and do these graphics. You can see the graphic a bit better there. I think the plume of like black hair coming out the top of his skull there doesn't look exactly right. It's kind of hard to do that against a black background, but I'm very happy with the rest of the sprite. Maybe there's some pixels I need to clean up there, but he looks pretty good. Yeah, so these are going to go through some changes. I'm just going to throw them against this and see how they do. And zombie mob does work underwater. It worked just fine. We've got 38 armored zombies. I believe you get 19. I should change the spell description because I think what it does is it raises 20 zombies, but one of them's a commander. And then because I didn't want these commander zombies to be constantly made when you're casting the spell, I put in an extra bit of logic, an event that basically gets rid of the commander. So I should put that it's 19 zombies, or I should raise the number of effects so you actually get 20 because it's a bit of a mismatch at the moment. It can only animate. It wastes one corpse basically on something. So I might put a note about that. You can claim this Throne of Ascension. Should we see if we can push on with these? Oh, I don't like fighting Turtle Tribe. Triton's underwater is always a dicey prospect. Tritons underwater. Where else are you going to fight Tritons? I mean taking poor amphibians underwater and fighting native aquatic units, or aquatic as some people say, is generally not the best idea in the world. Another 23 corpses over there. Let's keep these zombie mobs going. Can we send a lead around to just pick up zombies? Let's just send a revenant around hoovering zombies up. So another change that I made, which I didn't mention earlier, is I was looking into the leadership of these revenants and why they had so much undead leadership, and it turns out that they are good undead leaders, and then they get another plus 30 for having that one death magic level. And I didn't like them being good undead leaders for these guys or the vampires. I'd rather that you're not using revenants to like do formations and things. That seems weird to me. So now the way that it works is these guys who've got 80 undead leadership, they can do well, not with Solus because they're undisciplined. But if we get some long dead, these guys can do formations. But if I take these and give them to a revenant, revenants have effectively like okay leadership. They can't do formations. They can still lead around 70 undead as opposed to 80, but they just can't do formations with them. So that gives you a bit more incentive to use White Kings and to use these Harbingers. So I thought that's kind of more interesting. And the same thing for the vampires. I've done it there too. So any vampire players out there, you will recognize that when you see it. You won't be able to use revenants to lead your forces as much, but people like to use vampires to lead them anyway. That's cooler. So this is the same kind of standard idea, attack rear with these guys, but we're going to have some troops up front. What else can we put in there? So we can't mix in the legionnaires because they are not mindless. They are the rare mindful undead. They've been doing their meditation. And then we've got some soulless. I think the soulless, yeah, they don't have the best map moves, so they would kind of slow this group down a bit, I think. So maybe we wouldn't want to do that. But anyway, I'm just going to take these Amazons out. I will switch over the fort building. You can now build lab. Moving to there, that's fine. Expanding over there, yeah. I mean, I think you could get pretty great expansion. Probably one of the ways I would do it is just using tons of these long-dead chariots. I think that would be really good for expansion. In fact, let's test out just a big army of long-dead chariots and see what that's like. So what should we lead the long-dead chariots with? Should we just give them a White King? Give them a White King. We can recruit that many in a turn. And we'll just see how that force does. You can... Oh, with the knights, aren't you? I was just slowly sending you home doing site searching. See, even though I've got enchantment, sorry, not enchantment, even though I've got magic scales 3 and I'm pumping out these revenants, I haven't really gone crazy with the mages. I don't have that much research for that point, and I'm using them to cast things to give me more troops and so on. But I think you really could get a ton of forts up and just make loads of revenants. They don't cost any gold upkeep at all, and even though they suck at research, with the magic scales, you do end up with pretty good research and not having to pay upkeep on it. So the longer the game goes, the more of those you've got, the more of an unassailable research advantage you might be building on. And of course, you can put your Potentially you can make lightless lanterns because you've got fire. You can make skull mentors, but I don't think skull mentors are that worth it, to be honest. When you've got revenants you can make, and you can even summon up revenants if you wanted to. So let's watch the battle in Elder Hill. This is our attack rear squad who've been doing really well the whole game. They may not do so well here. Let's see. No, straight after the commanders, so this is going to be great. Yeah, look at that. Maybe lose a carrion here? Not sure. That one came... Oh no, he took a bit of... Someone's poked the poor birdie's eye out. Research enchantment's complete. We've got some good research options coming up. Good spells. So here, they've got 2 mages, and they're going to start by casting just, Blessing or whatever, but then they maybe are going to be doing Banishment. Banishment is really going to hurt us. Cold Bolt is not really going to hurt us. That's a terrible idea. Banishment, here it comes. Yeah, nasty. Something to mention here, I hate the Dominion sound effect for female unit dies. It's really just unnecessarily an unpleasant sound, and also, why do all female units make that sound when male units don't go like... They don't do a Wilhelm scream. Yeah, it's weird, I don't like that. So we did manage to attack rear and basically defeated them. Attack rear is so good against independents. I mean, it's good against players too, but it really is so good. And I think the caught you taken off. I think the Morghast are proving that they're well worth the gold cost, and maybe would need to be even more expensive than I'm making them. Maybe they need to be over 100 gold each, or 100 gold, say. I don't know. Being a really nasty combat unit that also flies, doesn't cost any upkeep, and is sacred. It could be they just have to make them really expensive. It could be as simple as that. But I'm happy with them being absolute beasts because they are in the tabletop game and in the lore and everything. Morghast are just these horrendously powerful elite. So more barbarians. Krell rushing ahead, dangerously so. Ooh, that's not looking great for you, Krell. What have you done, you madman? Is he just going to get waxed? He's doing okay. His high protection's carrying him through. Everyone around him died. Look at that, he got away with it. You cheeky boy. Yeah, the Legionnaires, the Tortured Spirits actually doing really well against things like Barbarians. Obviously, these have this big problem that if the enemy has banishment stuff, they die very easily. And if the enemy just chucks slings and arrows and multiple attack things, or if they have magic weapons in particular, magic weapons and spells just destroy Tortured Spirits. Because you have 0 protection and 5 invulnerable, you're relying on your ethereality basically. But they're doing really well against indies, I have to say. I think I always lose some, and every time I lose one, it's 30 gold, so it's not nothing. But yeah, the Legionnaire's doing great there. Krell's still getting kills. Good lad. Oh, and he's a famous hero now, which means if we look in the Hall of Fame, we can see Putin there. Putin the Snake Charmer. Yeah, we've got Gevelod has got 22 kills, but then this is cool. This is a Beastman, a Beast Lord, is it, or a Wargore? Anyway, it's a Beastman champion of some kind. It's got a bunch of kills. He might be a prophet, I guess. And then Krell has managed to get 6 kills so far. That's not bad, is it? Can get a few more. Bitterwind. Oh, there we are. That's Ermor in the game, Ashen Empire, I think. Very, very similar to this mod. I didn't take inspiration from Ermor at all for this. It's literally just that, like, an Undead Rome Ashen Empire thing, that Dominions has, is drawing on the same kind of mythology and tropes and cultural references that the Games Workshop were drawing on when they made Nagash and this kind of Undead Legion concept, where it's just a realm of the dead taking over the world. These are old concepts, and there's a bit of Tolkien in there because there's kind of like Nagash is a bit like Sauron, I guess, in some ways, and so on. But there's a bit of a lot of different influences in there, but they have the same influences or very similar influences. Cool. I think I'm not even really going to pay much attention to stuff here. I just want to do a quick test against this big chunk of Atavi infantry, etc. I'm just going to see how this relatively small 14 chariots, so 14 times 30 gold. Let's see how that does against these. I'm just going to skip past a couple of turns. Because I just want to test how they will do. And I'm not too worried about the things. Oh, Memento Mortis has woken up. Get some freaky events. Yeah, I don't mind my expansion not being so good because this is just a test game. Let's send this group into the Lion Tribe over there. Did I send a command around to pick all these up? Yeah. And pick those zombies up. And we did crush them very nicely over there. Let's just go home for now. Yeah, I really just want to see how this is going. In our research, we at level 3 enchantment, you get skeleton cavalry, which is nice. 4 death gems gives you 10 horsemen. They're pretty nice. I think that's the same spell basically as Pale Riders, which I've. Is it? 10 death gems for 20 plus. Or, yeah, it's very similar. Or skeleton cavalry for death gems for 10. So, similar. Very slightly different unit, I think, but basically the same. At level 4, you get Black Knights, but they're quite expensive. 10 death gems for 4. That may be a bit overpriced. I think someone mentioned before they felt that the Graveguard spell, which was 5 for 5, was maybe a bit overpriced. I think I maybe would use it. Zombie Throng, you can get. It's a bigger one, you can get more corpses in one go, but you can't cast it with your Revenants anymore, so I use Zombie Mob more often, to be honest. But yeah, you start to unlock some more stuff there. Let's see how these chariots do, and then I'm going to call it a video for now. I don't think this is going to be a particularly long series. It'll just be me messing around with testing, and then I think hopefully by the next time I make a video, I'll have coded up Nagash, and I can show Nagash to you. Bearman Highs, this was our just walking straight into the Lion Tribe. I think Lion Tribe are going to be, yeah, see, they're pretty good against Tortured Spirits, Lion Tribe. Not bad. Krell is going to smash them, of course, and the Graveguard are going to smash them, because they're just heavy elite infantry is a good recipe for killing Lion Tribe. Fortunately, the archers weren't shooting at the Tortured Spirits. They could have done a lot more damage there if they were. Tortured Spirits do heal themselves, unlike skeletons. Cool. And then, attacked by Asphodel. Do you want to have a battle of who's more dead? I think you'll find it's us. Wait, is that bad? So here are our chariots. Did I forget to set them to attack? I did. So that's interesting. They have their composite bows. We're going to have an archer duel here until they reach me, at which point it will trample them. I forgot to tell them to hold an attack, so that was very silly. Let's see what happens. This is pretty bad for us because we're going to get hit by stones and things which we don't like. Yeah, we're just going to get pelted with stones. Oh, the Markata have run away. This is funny that we're actually doing okay. This is partly because they've got shields, they've got some okay protection, and then of course they've got pierce resistance. Pierce resistance shouldn't be helping me against sticks and stones though, because it's blunt damage. You'd think I'd be getting beaten up more by this. Well, this was not the test that I intended for the chariots, but they're doing like surprisingly well with their rubbish composite. Oh, there we go. They've run out of ammo, so now they're going to charge. They're going to kill everything now. Yeah, wasn't that weird? But it worked out as kind of a good strategy, completely by accident. How many people did we lose? 1 chariot. Yeah, I maybe would have lost more chariots if I'd done hold and attack, which is extremely strange. Can we reach anyone to attack them? Not really. Well, I do want to see what they're like if I just If I just hold an attack, put you behind them. Maybe I should just go in and hang around here. And Asphodel was conquering me down there. Let's just throw some defenses up. Yeah, I'm not spending my money here because I'm not paying attention. Um, yeah, you can see we've got another fort up, and you can see that we missed some of our stuff for not being it not being our capital, but you can still make really good stuff. You can even have master necromancers. You just need a temple and a lab up, so you can build pretty strong stuff. So it is worth getting those forts up, even though they cost a bit more. And you can still get. Essentially, there's nothing really like unique that you can get in your capital except for the sacred and the liches and things. But you can have the equivalent of the other things in basically any fort. I think maybe the Nagashizzar Legionnaire. I'm considering making that capital only just because it is so themed to Nagashizzar, the capital. I don't know that people would necessarily make that many of them if they're capital only, though. But having a recruit anywhere magic weapon thing, I want to be somewhat careful of. Mummies have already been restricted. Actually, do your Graveguard have magic weapons? I think maybe they do. Yeah, they do. So you have recruit anywhere magic weapons already. I think I am going to put the Nagashizzar Legionnaire into a capital only slot. So it would be another one that's recruitable at the Black Pyramid. So you'll have Mummy, Nagashizzar Legionnaire, Morghast Archive Harbinger, and Leech of the Council will be cap only, I think. Okay, I think that is going to be it for this video. Maybe I'll do some more of these, but I think my next thing to do is just try and get this Mod Nation out so you can play it and give me some feedback on it. And then I'll probably move on to doing a national overview of something. I think maybe that would be my next project because I want to take a little break from just concentrating on kind of modding things, maybe make some more videos, play some more games. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.